Hey everyone, it's Adele and April from Just Say Scrap with Close to My Heart, and we are here with our 71st Technique Tuesday. So we are continuing on our Stamping 101 journey again, and today we are going to show you something that is called
swipe stamping.
Yeah, swipe stamping. So it sounds interesting and it looks even cooler than it sounds. So here we go. So as we said, we are doing our swipe stamping today. However, we are also going to be incorporating an old stamping technique that we've done, base and shading. So we have this perfect stamp that Close to My Heart has come out with this campaign. It's called Love in Bloom, as you see here. You can see all of the different steps that it actually lays out for you. And what's also really cool is that on the stamp sheet, it will actually say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you will actually have it laid out on your stamp sheet. So I think that's a really cool thing that Close to My Heart did for us this time around, don't you think?
Oh yes, I think it's a wonderful idea.
So I have my white daisy paper here and my Versamat, and I also wanted to just go over, because we always use our white daisy paper, but I feel like we've never really explained it. So our white daisy paper is actually super, super thick paper. So that's why you've been able to see us use it for the accordion books and everything like that, because it's great paper. So I know there's a lot of white paper out there, or sometimes it comes in other page protectors and stuff. But if you are looking for a perfect white paper, Close to My Heart's white daisy paper is definitely your place to look. It is super, super thick, great for stamping, all of that stuff. You probably have some great things to say about it too.
Yes, and it's great for creating projects like little boxes and things like that, because it really holds up.
Yes, it does. So I'm just measuring out some of the stamps. If you can see around the border, we've set up our area already. So this stamp is about 2 by 3.5 inches long. So I'm going to take my cutter here, and we might be using this for Throw It Together Thursday. So I'm going to just set that up actually very quickly, and we're going to be stamping onto our 2 by 3.5 here. So you don't have to do this. You can just do it on a piece of paper first, and then you're always allowed to cut afterwards, but I figured I would do that. And now I have my scrap paper as well. You can see the color difference. It's my scrap. We're going to turn over the Versamat. And for this one, we have based our colors off of the I Heart Us color palette. So it's actually all of these colors here, and I can read them off to you. It is black, raspberry, sweet leaf, thistle, lagoon, mint, canary, pixie, and bluebird. So you will be seeing those colors, and I will tell you as I'm going along. But we wanted to start off with first it's the love. I should actually have maybe the sheet out here, so you could follow along with me. I will actually place this sheet up here, and I will stamp more down here. You can still see all that, right? So none of these stamps are seasoned, so Mom, if you would like to start seasoning them for me.
I will.
So, and once again, remember, this black is our old style of ink pads. All of the ink pads now are our magnetic ones. So this is an old style. And you always want to use your Versamat. Use this squishy part of the Versamat. And I wanted to do the love in black because it's going to show up best. And also what's nice about my extra paper here is with new stamps, you always want to test them. So see how clean that is? So we're going to do this. And this stamp is not going to use the swipe stamping because it's just going to go in the middle, and I don't need to do my swipe stamping on this one. So that's my love. Okay, so I'm going to put the black away. I'm going to grab my raspberry out.
There you go.
Actually, because this also is my first time doing this stamp, and I do have my sample sheet here, I'm going to, as I'm going along, I'm going to actually be practicing on my scrap paper as well, right? Haven't you taught me that?
Yes.
So I can see what I'm doing, but I also want to get the swiping technique down as well. So how you would normally do an ink pad is you would kind of just get it all inked up there, you know, and then you would go right down onto your paper and you'd get a solid look for your inking. Swipe stamping is you're actually going to take this and you're going to swipe it across your ink pad. So when you place it down, it's going to get those swiped lines. Doesn't that look cool? I'm a little off on this, so I'm glad I did it on here first. Can you see that swiped image? So I'm going to do one more time. And I'm going to go there we go. And these might need a little bit of patience because you want to make sure that you get it right. And if you're off a little, honestly, in the end, you're not going to really be able to tell. And it's the practice, right?
Oh, yes.
So, lining it up. And that's also what's great about our acrylic blocks here, because I can see right through it and I can see down into my stamp. So this is actually going to be better. So do you see that swiping technique? It's going to give it a different texture. Now that I've done that, let me actually show you what it's going to look like if I don't swipe it. So do you see how much darker that is?
And not only that, it's solid. It's more solid.
Yeah, and this swiping technique is going to give you a different look for it too. So, you know, you can do some this way, some this way. And it's just a variation of a stamp. I forgot you did all these. I was like, ooh, it's nice. And the swiping technique also is going to give you a light, I guess I would say more delicate. It's a more delicate stamping feature.
And you don't want to do that you want to do that on your...
Yes, I do. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So this is going to take some practice lining it up, and I think, the wrong way. Yes, I was. So you gotta work it a little bit. Cool.
That looks very cool.
I like that. And how I put these on my block actually is I'll show you right now. Ooh, they're sticky. And be careful with these too because they are more delicate.
Yes.
So you don't want to rip anything. So I just took it off of my stamp sheet. I put it onto paper like this to let it fall its own way. And then I just picked it up with my block because instead of trying to fight with the stamp and put it on my block right away, I did it that way and it was easier. So we're going to do our swiping. We're going to go right to here. Ooh, fell off. I love this.
It's a beautiful stamp.
Yes. And I swiped it a different way actually, so it's even giving it more of a texture. So do you see how the one goes up and the one goes
on a slant?
Yeah, sideways.
Mm-hmm. And
Do you want to try one?
well, I was going to say you're stamping sitting down. On something like this, I would probably do better standing up over it. So
I like to sit.
I know.
Everybody's different. Do you want to try one?
Sure.
That didn't sound very confident over there. Do you want me to continue doing it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's
I mean, I know
test
how to
this
do
one.
it. It's
Yes,
just
she's the one that taught me, so don't think
wait.
she doesn't know how to do it.
I'm not in the position right now. I'd have to kick you out of the way.
This is true.
And you do want to follow the guide
There we go.
they are guiding you.
So I accidentally hit the base there, but that's okay. Not bad. But that looks pretty good. It's actually, so this I'm using kind of as my mess up, so it's not as neat as the one that you're seeing on the actual paper, if you can tell. Because I'm using that as my learning curve to see where the flowers line up, how they line up, how my stamp works together. And once again, I've swiped differently on this one. I just
But
keep
it
swiping
looks
differently.
Very cool.
And it, like it said, because this, I mean, it's going to soak into the paper more, but it's just so dark, and I feel like it's going to take away from the love. If you have it this way, it's a nicer, it's kind of more relaxed. All right, so step 5. Okay, so this one is actually going to be all of the little insides here. So I believe it's this way. Yes, it is. Am I correct? Am I not correct?
No.
No, I'm not correct. There we go. That's better. This is why we have our guide here. Yeah, that's it. You can also make sure that you are swiping the same way on all of them, if that's what you prefer. But I kind of like how it's all random.
Yes, I do too.
I'm shocked at how well I'm doing this one too. Sometimes the first time on these is a little bit more difficult,
And
just
especially
because
with something like this, because it has a lot of steps.
yeah, and you're learning how to use the stamp too. And we're also using this with very bright colors here. You can also do this with super light colors as well. So, flipping this around. And I'm also using all different size blocks as well, if you can see that. I'm doing that because some of the stamps are larger, so this one's actually larger. That's why I have it on here. The mint is very, very faint, but I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you have to ink it up more.
So should this one I do more solid? Yeah, I'm going to do this one more solid. So I'm not going to do my swipe stamping on this one. Just because the mint is lighter. It's a lot lighter. So you can use some versatility here. Oops. Awesome. I like how that looks, giving it a little bit more of a texture. And then, as an extra, which isn't on one of these steps, but it is on the base sheet so you can see it, they give you these tiny little flowers that you can add. These are super easy to quickly do. So I'm going to use the leftover, I guess you can say, inks from this kit. And of course I want to test it onto my sheet first. So I don't know if I really like the Bluebird. I think the Bluebird might be a little too dark for what I want to do here. So that's why you also have this, because you can test out your colors. But Pixie and Canary might be the perfect thing. You also might want to play around with this. Maybe do some flowers in the love if you wanted to. Something like that. I don't know if that's how I really want to go with this one, but I think the Canary does work. Do you think?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, you know, you can add a few little flowers here and there, just to give it a little bit of a pop. I like that. And let's go back to this one, cleaned off. And the Pixie, I think, also goes. Since we did the swipe stamping with the raspberry, the Pixie and the raspberry actually look very similar. So let's see if I swipe stamp this. This one's a lot smaller, but I kind of like how the swipe stamping made it super light. So I think that's what I wanted. I don't think I wanted it the same color. And this is just giving a slight hint of a flower. I think that's perfect. So, anything else to suggest while you're doing this?
Oh, I think it came out really pretty. I love the swipe stamping with this particular stamp.
And you don't have to do this on White Daisy either. You can pick like darker colors if you want, and you can actually try to do it on a paper like this, or you know, something that has hearts on it. Give it some other patterns. Or you can color in the love too. That's also another option. And another fun thing is you can actually take an embossing folder after you're done with it. And this is one of our new ones. This is the Swiss Dot. And you see how it's only on the side. So this is actually going to be really cool for cards. But you could put it here, and then it will give you the little dots as well. So without actually having to have a textured paper, you would then have a textured paper. So that is swipe stamping. And that's Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about our swipe stamping or about our base and shade stamps, let us know in the comments below. This is a very fun one. It could be used for anything.
Yes,
Page layouts, cards, Valentine's Day cards.
Ooh, Valentine's Day's coming up.
Goodie bags, anything like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a great stamp to use, and it is very versatile. So you could always take out some of those flowers if you don't want them. You could always change up the colors. We use the bright colors like we said, but you could use a completely pink palette if you want or something like that. You could always, you know, second generation some of those as well to get some different colors in the same color, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. Okay. But yes, so yay to swipe stamping. And also thank you to all of our new subscribers out there. We are glad to have you on our journey. And a reminder that March 7th to the 10th, we have our first weekend coming up as well.
We're so excited.
We are very excited. We have people letting us know if they're coming all the time, so that's a lot of fun. And we hope to see you guys there too. So the link is in the comments below. It is on our blog at justssayscrap.wordpress.com. If you go to our weekend link, you will see the registration form from us, and you will also be able to book your room for the hotel right there. So I guess that's everything for this Technique Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Camera's here.
Oh.
La, la, la.